If one of you utters a single word, this gets over with.
Can I ask you something, Miss Eloise?
Did I purposely make the third wicket 2 inches narrower than last year? Yes, I did.
For 4 seasons, Eloise Bridgerton has been the Bridgerton sibling who refuses to play the game. Every other sibling, Anthony Bridgerton, Benedict Bridgerton, Colin Bridgerton, even quiet Francesca Bridgerton, eventually gets pulled into a ballroom romance. Eloise spends most of her screen time actively running from one.
Perhaps you should like to paint a picture. Strange tonight. It's as if I shall feel anything but the inability to breathe in this corset.
Let's make do. For someone who hates ball gowns, you look exquisite in one.
Yes.
What makes Eloise different isn't just that she doesn't want to marry, it's what she wants instead. Books, pamphlets, arguments about ideas, the written word. And there's exactly one person in Eloise Bridgerton's world who ever spoke her language, Penelope Featherington. For 3 seasons, Penelope Featherington was the one person who fully understood Eloise's world of words, ideas, and correspondence, which is exactly what makes what happens in season 3 so devastating.
Her.
The person who understood Eloise's relationship with words was secretly using the written word, anonymously, for years, in a way that hurt the people Eloise loved. For someone whose entire identity is built on books, letters, and honesty on the page, that's not just a betrayal, it's a betrayal in the one language Eloise actually trusts.
Eloise, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, you're right about all of it. I was trying to protect you.
Is that what you were doing? By writing about me in your latest sheet? By telling the entire world about things I trusted you with?
It was the only way I could convince the Queen it wasn't you. It was the only way I could save you.
The only person you were interested in saving was yourself.
Before we reveal more, take a second to subscribe. We break down hidden details, fan theories, and future storylines from your favorite shows every week. If you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button, and let's get back to the story. Now, the show did give Eloise one romantic storyline of her own along the way, and it's worth mentioning because it's also the thing the show just quietly closed the door on.
I'm Theo Sharp.
I know.
You know.
As I know, there are several errors in your arguments that I must bring to your attention. Have you a pencil? Never mind. You may borrow mine.
Theo Sharp doesn't exist in Julia Quinn's books at all. He was created for the show, and in early 2026, showrunner Jess Brownell confirmed directly that Eloise's actual endgame is not Theo, which means the show built up one love story for Eloise, while quietly building a completely different one in the background the entire time. Because the man Eloise Bridgerton actually ends up with isn't new. He's not a season 5 or season 6 addition. He's already been in this show. You met him in season 1, and so did Eloise. Except neither of you noticed. To find him, we have to go back to season 1 and to a character almost nobody thinks about anymore, Marina Thompson.
A surprise.
Pray, may I have everyone's attention? I would like to make a small but rather important announcement. I have happy news to impart. I have asked Miss Marina Thompson to be my wife, and she has accepted.
Marina Thompson came to London pregnant with the father of her child, a soldier named George Crane, dead in the war. Colin Bridgerton fell for her. The Ton nearly destroyed her when the truth came out. And then, almost as a footnote to her own story, Marina was married off to George Crane's brother, a quiet, serious man named Sir Philip Crane.
I'd like to speak to Miss Thompson. I have a question for her.
Marry you? I do not understand.
After my brother clearly took liberties with your...
Most viewers filed this away as exactly what it looked like on the surface. A solution to Marina's problem. A man who took her out of London and out of the story. The end of Marina Thompson's arc. Except the show wasn't done with him. Season 2 brings us back to that marriage. And it tells us almost everything we need to know about Sir Philip Crane if we're paying attention.
Marina, he is truly amiable, but... well, you do not seem happy with him.
You've only been here a few short hours.
I do not mean to offend you.
I am not offended. Nor am I angry. You are a boy, caught up in his own fantasies. In truth, I once thought that would be enough to save me from my reality, but what I learned is, I do not need saving in that way.
In that visit, Marina tells Colin something quiet and devastating, that not everyone gets a fairy tale ending. The marriage isn't a romance. It's two people who were pushed together by circumstance, doing their best, and clearly not finding happiness in each other. And then, Marina Thompson disappears from the show entirely. She's not in season 3, not mentioned, gone. So why bring a character back just long enough to remind us he exists and then never use him again, unless he wasn't done yet? Here's where we have to be honest about what's confirmed and what's theory, because this next part is the key to everything, and it comes from the books. In Julia Quinn's 5th Bridgerton novel, To Sir Philip with Love, Eloise Bridgerton's story begins with a letter. Marina has died years into her marriage to Philip. Eloise, a woman in her late 20s, unmarried, increasingly isolated, writes to Sir Philip Crane simply to offer her condolences, because that's what Eloise does. Words are how she processes the world, he writes back. And what follows in the books is a correspondence between two people who have nothing in common on paper, a London socialite's daughter and a reclusive countryside widower with 2 children, and everything in common underneath. He doesn't perform for her, he doesn't care about the ton, he argues with her ideas instead of just agreeing to be polite. For a woman who just had her closest friendship destroyed by the written word, that's not a small thing. Penelope Featherington weaponized writing. She used the page to build a secret life that Eloise wasn't part of. If Eloise ever lets herself trust words again, trust a correspondence again, it has to be with someone who has absolutely nothing to do with the world of Lady Whistledown. Someone outside the ton entirely. Sir Philip Crane fits that description perfectly. He's not in London. He's not part of any of this. He's just a man in the countryside who writes back. Here's the part that should genuinely stop you. None of this was invented for the show after the fact. The pieces were placed years ago, and the people running this show have now confirmed it. And then there's the moment that might be the biggest tell of all, hiding in plain sight right at the end of season 4.
Whose wedding do you think we will be attending next?
Oh, I do love a wedding. All the best people in the same place. As an attendee.
Do you think you'll ever do it again?
It's played as a joke, but it's also the first time in 4 seasons that Eloise Bridgerton has said anything positive about marriage at all. And here's where the timeline catches up to right now. In March 2026, Netflix confirmed season 5 belongs to Francesca Bridgerton and Michaela Sterling, not Eloise. But Eloise is still there, still being filmed, still part of the story being built right now, which lines up exactly with how this show has worked before. Francesca and John Sterling's groundwork was laid during Benedict's season. Colin and Penelope's ending was set up across multiple seasons before it paid off. The show plants things early and pays them off later. So if season 6 really is where this pays off, what are we actually in for? Because based on the books, this isn't gonna look like any Bridgerton romance we've seen so far. In the novel, the letters eventually lead somewhere neither of them planned. Philip proposes by post before they've ever actually stood in the same room, and Eloise does something almost nobody in her world would dare to do. She doesn't wait for an introduction, a chaperone, or a season. She gets into a hired carriage in the middle of the night and goes to him. And there's one more wrinkle worth sitting with. Jess Brownell has already said publicly that Eloise's season may come with slight tweaks to the structure or the characters compared to the book. That could mean almost anything. A different way into the correspondence, a different timeline for Marina's fate, even changes to how and when Eloise and Philip actually meet. The bones of the story are locked in. The exact shape of it isn't. What we do know is this: every major Bridgerton romance so far has been built around a contradiction. Anthony Bridgerton swore off love and found his match in the one woman who refused to let him hide from his grief. Penelope Featherington spent years invisible and ended up married to the man who'd known her his whole life. Eloise Bridgerton has spent 4 seasons building her entire identity around never needing anyone. And the show may be about to test that identity against 2 children who need a mother and one man who for the first time actually wants to hear what she has to say. If that's where this is going, Eloise's love story won't look like a fairy tale. It'll look like the moment a woman who built every wall on purpose finally has a reason to walk through one. But what do you think? Is Sir Philip really the right match for Eloise? Or do you think the show has another surprise waiting for us? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next Bridgerton update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.